Do you have knee pain or ankle pain or hip pain when you're doing things like squats or tumbling? Or stunting, I guess, if you get low in your stunts like you're supposed to. Because if you do, I'm gonna show you guys a secret hidden range of motion in your knee that, believe it or not, can affect your ankle, your knee, your hip, your low back. It's like a secret code to help unlock why people have pain in these areas. And today I'm gonna share that secret with you. Most people are familiar with our knee's primary job, which is straighten and bend. Pretty straightforward and pretty boring, I guess. You look at things like the shoulder and the hip and the ankle that move like crazy. The knee's kind of boring, like the elbow. Feel bad for them a little bit. But believe it or not, the knee has a secret range of motion that a lot of people don't even know about. And in the clinic, when I'm working with people who have knee pain or ankle pain or hip pain, this hidden range of motion can actually give us the answer to why they're having these things. So aside from just bending and straightening, you have what's called tibial rotation. Now what the tibia is a long bone. It's actually your shin bone. And the tibia, when we go through things like squatting, lunging, extending our leg, actually rotates a little bit. And if we don't have that rotation, it can create issues above and below. What tibial rotation looks like is if I'm holding my leg steady and I turn my foot, the tibia turning is tibial rotation. So my leg is stuck here and it's my tibia that's moving. And if it's hard to see, if I put my finger right on the front of my shin bone or my tibia and I rotate it, notice how my finger turns with it. So we should have equal amounts of tibial rotation on both sides and in both directions. Now, where people tend to get errors with this is they'll go, yeah, I got tons of tibial rotation. Not really. We want to keep that leg, that thigh in place and then rotate below. And by finding if we have a lack of tibial rotation, we can see one of the potential reasons why we have pain. Now, I personally have issues with tibial rotation on this side from a motorcycle accident I had a long time ago, but it created a lot of stiffness in my ankle and started to affect the ability or my leg to tibial rotate. So if we look at my left side and we see how much external I have, pretty equal from here to here. Now when we look at my internal, I've got pretty good internal on this side, but I get stuck here. And that creates a problem because anytime I need to be able to rotate this tibia to do things like squats or lunges, it gets stuck and that can throw off everything else around it. So one of the things that I use in the clinic, I use on myself and I use with people that have tibial rotation that is lacking, is a couple of exercises I'm going to show you today. So the first thing you can do is just simply working the tibial rotation that we just did. We would hold our leg steady and we would work on rotating our foot either direction, whichever way we're limited. For me is going to be in, so I would rotate my foot in without letting my knee move around. Now what that should look like is keeping our foot flat and turning it while it's flat. Common errors that I see a lot are we'll scoop with the foot, so we'll kind of turn the foot towards the inside and that makes for a poor range of motion. Or what we'll see is that knee will turn with it. And again, we're trying to separate our thigh from our shin. So we'd want to hold the thigh in place, rotate, keeping our foot as flat as possible, not scooping, and then return back to the beginning. Now, where we can add in a little bit of resistance to help with this is we would take our band that we have tied off over here, and we're going to put the band around our foot. Now, for video purposes, I'm going to do it on this foot just to show you how we would do this. So we'd start here, we'd keep our heel on the floor, hovering the top of our foot just a bit, not lifting big, but from here, holding our thighs steady, we're gonna work on drawing in, rotating our tibia and trying to keep our foot as flat as we can, and then we would return back to our starting point. And again, rotating in and turning back to our starting point. Now, if we were going external, we would just put the band on the other foot, just like this, and we would work external, keeping our thigh completely straight. Now, the most important thing that we can do when we're working on tibial rotation is to retest. And the way that we can retest is we would do, let's say, a squat beforehand. We feel like we're getting kind of stuck. I would test that rotation, see, okay, I'm lacking a bit, work on the drill, and then retest to see, can I get my knee and my ankle in the position that I want? Now, we want to work all ranges of motion with this tibial rotation because exercise and cheer are very dynamic. We hit a lot of body positions and a lot of ranges of motion. So we wouldn't want to just stick with this 90-degree position alone. We'd want to be able to kind of work through all of the positions that we may get into. So what we can do is take our band and actually put it underneath our foot instead of around it. Now for me, that internal rotation of the tibia is where I lack. So instead of working into internal rotation of the tibia, I can plant my tibia or my shin bone straight down and rotate my knee out away from it. And that also creates a sense of internally or inward turning of the tibia, even though it's not moving. So I hope that's not confusing. I can either keep this still and move in, or I can keep this still and move out, and it gives me the same exact mechanics. So for this, what I would do is I would take my band and I would put it underneath just my big toe. So not the whole foot, just under the ball of my foot, right behind my big toe. And then from here, what I'm gonna try to do is keep my foot flat, not rolling, so the band will shoot out, keeping my foot flat, and I'm gonna drive my knee out and back in. Now I can already see I lost a little bit of contact because when I went, I see that band sliding out. So what I know that I need to keep more tension, or more pressure I should say, on the inside part of my foot so that I can push out and maintain a solid foundation. So I'd press out and back in. And what I can do here is get deeper into my lunge and try to get the same position. I can get further back in my lunge and try to work the same position. And by having this dynamic ability to work all ranges, I can really free up the ability of my tibia to turn. And when I do that, what it gives me is it allows me to get into my squats for things like co-ed stunting and get my knees into a good position so that I can create power from the bottom. Without that, what ends up happening is I tend to rock to the outside of that foot, and it creates some pain in my knee and a lot of times in my hip. So being able to keep a solid foot but get my knees out gives me a solid foundation to start stunting. And when I'm in the gym, it keeps my knees and hips from bothering me when I'm doing things like squats and lunges. If you're looking to add this to your mobility routine, or you're looking to improve this, I like to set time domains on these versus just reps, reps, reps. And the reason is our goal is to really explore how far we can get. And for me, I tend to see a little bit more improvement if I give myself a time frame of like 90 seconds to 2 minutes to really just explore all of the sticky points that I have. So try setting a time of like 90 seconds to 2 minutes and really just explore all those ranges of motion. But again, the most important thing, make sure we're testing it, get an idea of how much you can turn and where our limitation is, and then from there, work to improve. Hey guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it's kind of out there as far as concepts goes and it can be hard to understand, but if you give this test a shot and then try to implement some of these strategies, I guarantee you it can help with some of the weird knee or ankle pain or hip pain that you may be experiencing that you can't really figure out how to fix. For more videos like this, click the link above, and if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, click the link right around here somewhere, click the bell for notifications, because you know, I was looking at our analytics, and believe it or not, like 90% of people that watch our videos don't even subscribe to our channel. So how do you know when we come out with new videos? I mean, we're lucky that you came across this one or that one, but I know you want to know when new ones come out, so stop being silly, subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, I'll catch you on the next one after you subscribe. See ya.